So this is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Michael Hennessy Jr. ahead of the big show on Friday night in Crystal Palace. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thanks, Danny. How about yourself? You good?
I'm pretty good. This is a very urban environment, very modern. I'm not sure it fits with me particularly as a 40-year-old man, but I'm adapting as we go. Adapting is something you know plenty about. How do you feel you are now in the pro game compared to when you first kicked off coming from the amateurs?
You know, I'm over 2 years in now, so I've been a pro for a little while now. It's taken a while to adjust, I guess, because it's completely different. It's almost a different sport, amateur and pro boxing, but slowly but surely I'm improving every fight, and yeah, I'm loving the pro game.
People always talk about the man strength, especially when you're in your early 20s. How do you kind of measure your physical strength and whether it's coming on or not? Is it in the fights when you're wrestling around with grown men, or is it more, you know, in training, beating your PBs and so on?
Well, I do a lot of strength and conditioning, but I still don't think that's not to do with man strength. You can beat your PBs in the gym, but it's only when you get in there with a man and start fighting and sparring, you can sort of feel when that man strength is coming on, I guess. All the other stuff does help, but of course, with time, I'm going to get physically more mature. Only 22 years old, and I'm a young 22 as well. I look about 16, so a few more years, and I'm sure that will kick in, for sure.
At this stage of your development, I imagine you're learning more in the gym than you are in the ring for the most part. Who have you been kind of sparring? Who's taught you a lot?
You know, I've sparred a lot of top guys in the gym. More recently, I sparred Sam Eggington. That was a great learning experience for me. It was a tough.
You scarred? You're emotionally scarred by it?
A little bit. It was a tough learning experience for me. You know, Sam, he comes down and fight. I sparred a senior Byfield as well. Very, very good fighter. Conflicting styles, but very good fighter as well. And a lot of top prospects coming through as well. You know, so I'm picking up a lot of experience in the gym, and it makes fight night a lot easier, that's for sure. But you know, we're taking slow steps. I'm young. I've got all the time in the world, and stepping up to an 8-rounder starting next year. And like I said, I want to come through slowly, quietly, and then, like I said, I'm planning on being a dark horse in this game, and it's surprising a lot of people in the future.
How do you feel about the prominence you've been afforded so far in terms of the TV coverage? And you haven't been high up bills, but you have been on bills that have got a lot of eyes on them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's great to be on these bills, and you know, surrounded by all these top fighters here. You know, just crossing ideas and stuff like that, hearing about what they do, and you know, it's a mindset at the end of the day. And hanging around top fighters, you're more likely to become one. So it's amazing being on these bills. And like I say, I'm not high up on the bills, but you know, that's good. You know what? It's good. It allows me to learn quietly and improve with every fight. And then when it is my time to headline and co-main event, etc., I'll be more than ready.
Is there a negative side to that, in that, you know, you're under more scrutiny than the average prospect at your stage, especially if results, as they have once, not gone your way?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as soon as you put your head above the parapet, you're going to get shot at. So, you know, it is what it is. It's just one of them things that when I first turned pro, you know, sometimes you take it to heart and stuff, but as you be around the sport a little bit longer, you understand that it comes with the territory and it happens to everyone, so you take no notice of it and just focus on yourself, and that's what I'm doing.
Main event on Friday is, of course, Isaac Chamberlain against Dylan Prasovic, vacant IBF international title, I believe. Tell us a little bit about your friendship with Isaac and how much of an inspiration he is.
Isaac's a massive inspiration to myself. He's like a big brother to me. You know, I talk to him very regularly. He's always giving me great advice, and he's really gonna shock a lot of people here with this fight. You know, this guy Prasovic, he's only ever lost to Okoli. He's undefeated before that. He's a great fighter, and this is Isaac's coming out party. We know what he's capable of. Since the Okoli fight, you know, he's come on so much, Isaac, and you know, he disappeared to America for a while. You know, he went through a hard time out there, you know, living rough out there, but, you know, he went to hell and back, and he's came out of it, and he's a completely different fighter, and he's really, really going to surprise a lot of people. In my opinion, he's a future superstar, nailed on future world champion, undisputed. You know, the sky's the limit for him, and tomorrow night is the start.
Wow, promotionally, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. See if you can infuse the McKennas with the same passion. Obviously, you have some experience boxing with them over in Ireland. Just tell us a little bit about them and how far they can go.
The two McKenna brothers, they're absolute phenoms. You know, they are, again, nailed on world champions and superstars, because, you know, I've grown up around these two in Ireland, boxing over there, and they've always been beasts, winning all the Irish titles, winning World Championship gold medals, European medals, Commonwealths, and they've always been great fighters. But since they made that trip over to America, it's taken them up another level, and they've came back a different beast again. And they've got everyone running scared at the moment in pro boxing. My dad has taken some of this country's biggest names in pro boxing from their very debuts to undisputed world champions, and we're more excited about these two than any of those guys, and that speaks volumes.
They're not the most, outrageous or outgoing of lads. They let their fists do the talking for the most part. How difficult is it to adapt to the professional side of the sport, where you do have to be a bit more, vocal and a bit more in your face, and get used to the cameras like this all the time?
You know what? That obviously is very important, because boxing's a business. These two are like extremely exciting. Like you said, they do all their talking with the fists, and it's incredibly exciting when they're in the ring. But I think Stevie's starting to pick that up outside the ring. He's calling out everyone and anyone at the moment. Conor Benn.
He's got that from Idris.
Yeah, he's been hanging around Idris too long for sure. But he's been calling out Conor Benn, Florian Marku. Anyone who wants it can have it, and that's the same with Aaron. I think where Aaron's a little bit younger, he's not calling out anyone just yet. He'll fight anyone though. I think he'll pick that up and realise that it's a business and stuff, but he'll fight anyone for sure. Even though he's not calling anyone out right now, anyone who wants it can get it with him, and he'll stop him for sure.
Do you want to influence them a little bit more and call anyone out yourself?
Not yet. I'm moving under the radar a little bit for now. I'm looking to step up next year, and who knows, maybe then we'll start calling some names.
Real ones move in silence, as AJ allegedly once said.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to move quietly, but I will burst onto the scene at some point. You'll hear about me soon.
Great stuff. Really appreciate your time, and best of luck on Friday.